Hey there. I'm down in Clearwater, Florida this week. My mom just passed away about a week ago, and the funeral is this Saturday. So doing all the preparation, helping my dad and getting a video ready for my mom and all the other things that go with preparing for a funeral. In doing all the preparation, I'm not getting out and getting the exercise that I need. So it's a beautiful afternoon today. I'm gonna break away and take you all on a journey. Okay, so we're off. Getting out to get a little bit of exercise today and take you guys on a journey down the Pinellas County Trail. And what is the Pinellas County Trail? Well, it's a rail trail, an old rail line that's not used anymore. I think it was shut down in the 80s. But it's been converted to a 45-mile bike trail that's paved with asphalt. Very nice, very moderate, very easy. And it stretches from downtown St. Pete all the way up to Tarpon Springs. And it goes through historic downtown Dunedin. It ends up in historic downtown Tarpon Springs at the sponge boat docks. And we're picking it up at downtown Clearwater. And we're doing the portion of the trail going up from downtown Clearwater all the way up to Tarpon Springs. And round trip, that's like a 35-mile trip. The whole length of the trail from St. Pete all the way up to Tarpon Springs is like 45 miles. What they're doing though is they're making this trail a loop. So you can go from downtown St. Pete 45 miles all the way up to Tarpon Springs, and then loop around and come back down south to St. Pete again. So you're basically going to do a loop around the Pinellas County Peninsula. And that's supposed to be done in 2022, sometime this year, which is 2022. And when it's done, it's going to be 75 miles-ish. And that's a nice ride. Right now they have about 56 to 60 miles all done. So really neat trail system, and it has a lot of history to look at along the way, and a lot of quaint little towns and parks and things to look at. So that's why I'm excited to take you along on this adventure. And if you're ever down in Tampa Bay area in Florida, this is a must-do for you. Now, what I'm riding today is I brought with me from Texas down to Florida my Priority Apollo. And the Priority Apollo is a road bike, but really a gravel bike. But it's got the drop handlebars, and it's made for road riding all the way up to gravel riding. And this is my favorite go-to bike, and you're going to see a lot of it in my videos coming up that pertain to cycling. So if you want to learn more about the Priority Apollo, click on my affiliate link in the description box. But what I really like about it is it's got the wider tires. I think I'm running 36s or 38s now, but you can ride up to 42s or 44, I think. It has a 100% Gates belt drive drivetrain, and that engages the gear system, which is an internal 11-speed gear system called the Shimano Alfani system. Again, the Shimano Alfini gear system. It's 100% internal. In this bike, there's zero grease, zero oiling. When you clean it, all you do is just wipe it off with a damp towel and you're done. And then about every 4,000 to 5,000 miles or once a year, you just change the oil in the internal gear system. So extremely low maintenance, but you know, it's 11 speed but there's enough gear range to do anything up to 8, 9, 10% grade. I do regularly up in North Carolina, or just flat riding, you know, really hammering out the miles in a low gear or in a high gear. So anyway, check out the Priority Apollo, and thanks a lot for coming along with me on this adventure today. We're in downtown Dunedin now. This is a quaint little town. Lots of pubs and breweries and restaurants and shops. Tons of history. It's a little cottage town, but a lot of people have moved here. It's a big destination here in the Pinellas County area. It's just a cool place to stop and visit and look around a little bit and get some pictures of the cool murals on the walls and all of the different things going on here. Seems like there's always an art show or some crafts festival or a brew event or something going on in Dunedin. A lot of history dating back to 1850 here. My whole family's pet lovers, and this wall is just super cool to look at. Look at all the dogs. It says, "Welcome to Dog Eden." Now up here in Dunedin, if you're riding this trail anytime in the spring when spring training's going on, it's where the Toronto Blue Jays play, is in Dunedin at TD Ballpark. And then as you loop around on this trail and it's complete, going back down to St. Pete when the whole loop is done, you have the Phillies on the other side of the peninsula in Clearwater, and you can hit them as well. I love the time that I spend in the tropics, and I consider the middle of Florida the tropics, out on the beaches, and you definitely get the tropic feel on this trail, and that's cool. You know, you might be breaking away from the beach one day doing this and just doing something a little different, but you still have the feel of being down in Florida in a quaint, cool place. Had to stop for some avocado toast. I needed something to keep me going, to fuel me, and this will be perfect. Passing into Palm Harbor now. We just went through Dunedin, then Ozona, and now Palm Harbor. Hey, on all my other videos when I'm out there kayaking, and I always talk about the redemptive value, the recharging for the soul of getting out and exercising. With the passing of my mom, you know, that brings on its own stresses and sorrows and reflections on a past life well lived. But you know, today I just had to step away, get out on the bike, hammer out some miles, get the blood pumping, and boy, I guarantee you at the end of the day, I'm gonna feel refreshed. If you have a tough day at work, tough day with the kids, or whatever, get out there, take some time for yourself to recharge and do something good for your body and your mind. Okay, we're taking a little detour. It's right on the trail. It's called Wall Springs Park, and Wall Springs has a spring coming out of the ground. It's pretty cool. It bubbles up, and you can and it flows right out into the Gulf. But we're gonna go check it out. There's the Wall Springs Springhead. My dad tells me back in the 40s and 50s, he used to ride his bike up here, and that was the only swimming hole outside of the saltwater beaches, but the closest freshwater swimming hole near to Clearwater. So it was about a 15-mile ride for him to get up here. But it was a much bigger scale back then. There was like a bathhouse and all types of things built around this. But right now it's just a walled-in small little spring, and out it goes to the Gulf of Mexico. I love being spontaneous and just following whichever way the wind goes, and whatever piques my interest, and just taking time on this trail today. It affords you a lot of times to be spontaneous. There's so many things to look at and just stop and observe. Another spontaneous hop off right here on the trail. Right behind me. It's the Suncoast Primate Sanctuary Foundation, and it's all primates. It's apes or chimpanzees or all types of monkeys. And on the other side of the building where the road is, there's a front entrance where you can actually I think go in there and tour the place. But I don't see any out there right now. There's another spot over here where you can look. It says now open, donations, tours, and there he is. Hey buddy. Big chimpanzee right there. Hi there, guy. Do a little tightrope walk in there. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, that was just a couple steps from the trail. Another spontaneous moment. Well, we're not far from the sponge docks now. Just entered Tarpon Springs. Been a beautiful ride today. My last trip up this trail, I ate lunch at the Tarpon here. Tarpon Tap House or something. It was great. You sit outside and have a beer and have a burger and some fries and get on the trail. That avocado toast is still holding me, so I started a little late today, and I just want to get to Tarpon Springs and down to the downtown Old Town area, and then I can grab a bite on the way back. Okay, we're entering the historic sponge dock area. As you can see, downtown Old Town Tarpon Springs, it's on the Anclote River, and the Anclote River goes that way west 2-3 miles, and it's out in the Gulf. But on the as you can see with all the Greek restaurants, it's a Greek fishing community, primarily sponging. So you saw some of the boats back there, they had sponges all over them. It's a sponge harvesting area, and just lots of seafood restaurants and Greek restaurants and shops. And you know, if you left down in St. Pete and rode up here and started earlier in the morning, you could spend quite a few hours up here. A lot to do and see. I think I'm gonna pull off and get me a falafel wrap or something like that to continue on down this trail. Okay, just left Tarpon Springs. I'm gonna do more of a straight shot, not as much stopping on the way back, but I'm gonna time lapse the route going back. It's a hyperlapse, and you'll see the trail in its entirety really sped up. It'll be pretty cool. And then I'll get back and summarize it when we get back to the end. Well, today's ride's coming to an end. Hey, thank you so much for coming with me on this journey from Clearwater up to Tarpon Springs on the Pinellas Trail. Big kayak cliff thumbs up. So much to see on this trail if you want to add a little spontaneity to your ride. So many things to see, so many places to eat, get a drink, anything like that. So highly recommend it. If you like my videos, if you like videos about kayaking, hiking, biking, camping, anything outdoors that I do, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell for notifications for new videos, and like the video too. The YouTube algorithms look favorably upon that. So hey, again, and if you want to learn more again about the priority line of bicycles, not only the Apollo that I'm on, but also all priority bikes. All priority bikes have Gates carbon belt drives. They all have internal gearing. They're maintenance free. They ship right to your door, and they're a cinch to put together. So again, thanks for watching this video. Safe adventuring out there, everyone, and God bless.